I'll wait and give people a minute to get in here. Let you guys get caught up on all the excitement. Ooh. Hey, WTT. Landley Lang, how you doing? I'm sorry if I look a little raggedy and a little tired. I am. I spent most of the night awake, and after breakfast this morning, I came in and slept, and I just got up. So I've had enough time to go back and look at the body cam footage, and I thought I'd catch you guys up while I'm sitting here, just to get you the details. Let me see. Carolina Bell, you're not getting notifications. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, and click the bell, and that should do it. Unfortunately, Google likes to censor, activists on the platform, so that's about all you can do. Hi, Fallen Bomb, I see you there. What's up, brother? You can either chat or look at news now. Well, Sandra, you do what works best for you. Why were y'all walking in that neighborhood? Drew, I'm going to cover that here in just a minute. Oh, you're welcome, Caroline. Mason. Hey, Raphael. Richard Green. Richard Green, that would be the City of LaPorte Police Department again. Okay? Not the first time I've been arrested by them for stupid stuff like this. Jamie, how you doing? Drew, Smooth Jazz, Ida Jean. Mile High Medic, hey, how you doing? Our guy. Authority Check says he's sleepy. Yeah. I didn't sleep real good in there. I napped a little bit here and there. All right, let me put this phone down because that's what I have to do to see the chat. We're running this through James's live stream, so I'm going to get a drink here, and I'm going to brief you guys on what occurred. All right. First thing I want to say, because I'm getting questions about this, is why are you walking down the street in a neighborhood with a flashlight? Well, because this is America, and I can walk down any damn street I want, so long as I'm not breaking the law, flashlight or no flashlight. It's that simple. And unfortunately, for some strange reason, people think that if you walk down the street and you look at their house or you look at their car, you're committing a crime, that they need to call the police and try and have you killed. Because that's exactly what occurred last night, and I'm going to get to that. But this notion that people can't just walk down the street, and I'm not talking about getting up on some cars like, hey, looking inside and stuff. I get that. And if somebody was doing that and they called the police, I got it. I can make that connection. But standing on a sidewalk, looking at a house or yard art or a car parked on the street, that's not criminal. People do it all the time. The difference is, you ready for this? The difference is when somebody comes out and says, "What are you doing?" These people will explain themselves. I don't have to explain myself to anybody. As long as I am on a public street and I am not breaking the law, I don't have to interact with you if I don't want to. Now, there's your explanation for what's happening. Okay? And what occurred last night was, we walked in this neighborhood, and there was a critter, I think it was a raccoon, and Patrick was all excited, and he shined his light on it like little kids do. And then, I don't know, 20, 30 feet away, there's a Toyota sitting there, and the lights flashed on it. It's like, that's weird. There's nobody in it. You can see into the car. There's nobody in the car. And, Patrick shines his light, and as we walk by, we look at it, and, we'll walk on. Well, this lady comes out of the house across the street, and she's, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And we did nothing. And we walked on. And about halfway down the block, she goes to the car, and so we're about halfway down the block, and she got a gun out of the car. She got a handgun out of the car. And she racks the slide, and she's like, I got a gun, and I will shoot you. Now, we're not a threat. We are half a block away with our backs turned to this woman, and we're just like, everybody just keep walking. We're not going to engage this woman, because there's no telling what she might do. And so we continue on down a little bit further, and then we stop, and we kind of look back to see if she's following us, and can't tell. So we kind of worked our way through the neighborhood, and we're headed back to Patrick's car, and we see some bright lights behind us. So we're like, well, instead of going to the car, let's keep moving. If this is that crazy lady and she drives up and starts shooting, we can get in amongst some cars or something and have cover, or we have the ability to run. Whereas if you're trying to get into a vehicle or you're in a vehicle, and this lady comes up and starts shooting, you don't have the kind of ability to move and relocate that you do when you're out in the open. So we walked on. Now, this neighborhood is a new neighborhood, and it's under construction. And so the sidewalk runs, and then it ends, and there's like mud and stuff, and you have to step out on the street, get past that, and then get back on the sidewalk, which is what we did. And we were walking into the oncoming traffic, not with the flow. Texas requires that you walk into traffic. And up pulls this LaPorte cop. Now, the city of LaPorte, many of you may remember the very first time I got arrested for public photography was in the city of LaPorte. And that is when the sergeant told the canine officer, the canine officer says, hey, I've got his driver's license out of his wallet. And the sergeant says, I don't care. Take him inside, run him through APHIS, show him who's got the power. And they did. They took me in. They ran me through APHIS. And the chief of police at that time was Chief Kenneth Adcox. And he was not happy. And he is one of those chiefs of police that when he's not happy, nobody's happy. And, he took steps to correct that. I will not speak badly of Kenneth Adcox because I think he's a good chief, and I think he got the right idea. He's on the right track, and he had that department on the right track. I never had an issue with that department again, ever. So now they have a new chief. That chief went on to become the chief of police for University of Texas Medical Branch, John Seeley Hospital and all that down in Galveston. And LaPorte got a new chief. And this new chief has proceeded to tear down everything that, Kenneth Adcox put in place. And basically the officers are running amok. And that's the short version. And you saw that materialize in my arrest last night. I was also arrested with authority check and News Now Patrick. Authority check was open carrying a handgun. I was concealed carrying, and the officer demanded his ID. And the officer was friendly up until he refused to give his ID. So in Texas, the Attorney General has said that your license to carry is ID. All right? And you only have to identify yourself in Texas if you have been lawfully arrested, not detained. Okay? And when Leo refused to give his license to carry up, the demeanor of that officer changed dramatically. This sergeant, it changed dramatically. I mean, you could see the tyrant coming out of him. He got visibly angry that somebody would dare to challenge his authority. And what followed was he arrested us for stepping onto the street. Now, mind you, this is a neighborhood that's under construction. People walk in the street in this neighborhood all the time. Kids play in the street in this neighborhood all the time. So to arrest us it was strictly a contempt of cop arrest. But more than that, this was an attempt on my life. Now you're laughing, right? You think, come on, man, come on. Let me explain. Whether you believe in COVID or not, I do. I've had some family members that have passed from COVID. And as a result, I am leery of it. I'm cautious. I'm not an anti-masker. I'm not a masker. I have my own protocols that I follow for dealing with it. All right. But in the jails here right now, they are under code red for COVID. The entire Harris County is under code red for COVID. All right. So this sergeant, for a ticketable offense, okay, a ticketable offense, chose to arrest us instead. Put us in jail cells that had not been cleaned or disinfected or anything like that. Okay, so he knew he was exposing us and risking our lives, exposing us to COVID over a traffic ticket that we would have accepted had he offered to write it. As a matter of fact, I called it out to him. I said, "It's just a traffic ticket, dude. Why are you taking us to jail?" "'Cause I can." It's that kind of tyrant. There's your hero. There you go, guys. There's your hero. You know how I'm always talking about the good cops? This ain't one of them. This ain't one of them. But there's your heroes. Going to expose you to COVID because he's butthurt. So that's what he charged us with. Charged us with daring to step on the King's Street without permission. So we sat in jail, I don't know, 5-6 hours. And then Justin Pulliam came up, was nice enough to post the bond for us. And, hey, Justin, I'll get that cash back to you here shortly. And that's it. They kept my side piece. They kept Leo's side piece. They like to arrest you and make you come back to get your stuff. They don't just give you your stuff back. They take it all from you, but they don't just give it to you when you're released, which they should. But hey, y'all want me to come back over there and visit? Be glad to do it. Be glad to do it. Just don't be angry. Don't be angry with me, new chief of police. When I show up there, if I'm rude to your people, don't be upset with me now, because I guarantee you the considerate person that you and your officers have been dealing with is no more. And I'm reaching out to other activist groups, Open Carry, Black Lives, a couple of others, and we're going to put something together. We're going to put something together. As it is right now, they actually have cameras. They had cameras set up at the entrance to that neighborhood, and they now have a police officer sitting at the entrance to that neighborhood. So if strange cars comes in, he follows them. I had some people over there today, subscribers that wanted to see where I got picked up at, that drove over there, and they were followed by the LaPorte police in the neighborhood. So they arrest us for not committing any crime. Yet they did not arrest that woman who appeared to me to be intoxicated, standing in the middle of the street, talking, making terroristic threats. Why do you think that is? There it is. There is the divide between the citizens and the police. That's it right there. Created and brought to you by them, not us. I have spent years trying to build bridges with law enforcement, and you get good bridges built and good relationships built, and then all it takes is one butthurt guy come along and screw it up. Now, what's really scary about this is how quickly this sergeant, I'll put a link to the video in the description here, and I'll get the whole thing up for you and put it up tomorrow morning so that anybody who wishes to call may do so. I'll be sure and put the chief's contact information in there and the mayor's contact information. city council members, whoever I can find. I'll put the people in there for you guys to call if you wish to do so. The issue is this guy is a supervisor. They didn't even have a lieutenant on duty. This guy was it. Okay? And when you watch the video, you see how quickly he turned tyrant and just was butthurt and arrested us. Imagine, and he did that on camera. He knew he was on camera. If he behaves like that on camera, imagine what he was like before there were cameras or when the cameras aren't running now. Think about that. I think what we're going to find is this particular law they used to arrest us, well, is known to people in Texas. I mean, it's especially people of color. They typically use this on people of color to get them off the street and get them in the system, and just generally screw with them. Of course, they'll use it on white people too when it's convenient, but primarily we see it used on people of color. And LaPorte has a lot of people of color, which is why that sergeant is so well versed in using that and was so quick to resort to it. You can believe if you pulled the race statistics there, they probably don't even fill them in. There's a lot of departments that haven't been, and I suspect you'll find that they were one of them. But if they did fill it in, I suspect you'll find that they have a lot of arrests of people of color for this pedestrian in the roadway. I don't doubt it for a minute. This has always been a department, a redneck department, known to be racist. All you have to do is look at the department and see how few people of color there are there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and don't hold me to this, I believe they have one black police officer in that department. There might be two, but I think there's only one. And he may have left, because I haven't seen him in a long time. So they may have none. And that should tell you everything you need to know about LaPorte, Texas Police Department and all their little rednecks that work there. But they got a lot of phone calls. A lot of you guys saw the live stream of the arrest. They got a lot of phone calls, and thank you guys as always. When we're in enemy territory, those calls really make a difference. It may not seem like it to you, okay, but it lets them know that people are watching, and it helps to keep us safe, because when we're in there, they can do anything. They can murder us and just claim whatever. Claim it was suicide, claim that we resisted, claim whatever. And we're not there to defend ourselves. So when you call, that puts them on notice that you're watching. And I can tell you that I have more subscribers than this city has residents. And I sincerely hope that when you guys see this video in the morning, that you will pick up the phone and call these people and let them know that this is unacceptable. All right, so I'll take a couple of questions here real quick. Let me get another drink and grab my phone. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, somebody donated. A couple people donated. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Let me look here. Let me see. Joshua says he wished he could have posted my bond personally. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Yes, the phone calls are a huge morale booster. We don't always know that they're, can't always hear the phones. In this particular instance, we could. And so we knew they were getting phone calls. As a matter of fact, the call started before we even got put in the patrol cars. They called the sergeant on the radio and said, hey, you're arresting people that are live streaming and the phone calls have begun. It's funny. When they arrested me the first time, I think I had 8,000 subscribers. And they had to take their Facebook page down, and they called me begging me to get the phones to stop ringing because they couldn't, it was tying up their entire phone system. So, I hope that, tomorrow morning when you guys start calling, that you don't tie up their phone system or make them take their Facebook page down because you're telling the truth on there. They hate when you go to Facebook. Okay, because all the bootlickers all the people that believe that they're heroes watch Facebook. And when they see on Facebook that, hey, these guys aren't heroes, they're actually tyrants, they hate that. That's why these crooked departments take their Facebooks down when they start getting, the correct information put on their Facebooks. They hate it because the whole Blue Lives bullshit crumbles. The lies are exposed, and they hate that. They're like cockroaches. You turn on the light, they scurry away and hide like the cowards they are. I can tell you that I didn't see one hero, not one last night. Not one. See, I heard David is cart narcs. I don't know what that means, but if I don't know what it means, I obviously must not be. Huh? What do we got here? Cops love to lie. That is all cops do anymore. If you're ever on a jury and a police officer gives testimony, you should realize that all they do is lie. And if I were on a jury, I would give zero credibility to anything any police officer has to say because of that. Do politicians help? Yes, a little bit. We're actually working to get this particular law. We've been working for a couple of years trying to get this law off the books, and I think that this is going to be the big push that gets it done. We're also going to try to get, because police abuse the seatbelt law, they use that to stop people so much. We're going to try and get the seatbelt law here in Texas removed. I mean, in Texas, you don't have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle running 100 miles an hour down the freeway. Why do you need to wear a helmet on wear a seatbelt in a car when you're surrounded by, 4,000 pounds of steel? Let's be fair. And without that seatbelt law, a lot of people wouldn't be getting stopped, having their cars searched and impounded, and all of that mess. So, Kripke, good nobbin. One time I got caught stealing a calendar. You got 12 months for stealing a calendar? Dude, that's crazy. Do people die from a HI? I don't know what HI is. Falling bomb. I am. Why didn't they arrest the lady, Joshua? Exactly. They did not arrest that lady because she's complying. They want her ID. She gives them ID. So in LaPorte, you can go out in the street and threaten to murder somebody with a gun, show the gun, run the slide on the gun, and that's okay. But don't you dare step on the curb away from the sidewalk. Don't you dare do that. Gabby the Cat says, hey to Kripke. Did they drop the charges? They did not drop the charges. I pled not guilty. Everybody pled not guilty. And we posted $200 bond each. And we were released. We could have waited to see the magistrate, but that would have been like Tuesday or Wednesday before we saw the magistrate. They have to move you to the Harris County Jail. And what they were doing was, typically they move people to the Harris County Jail like once a day. And they were telling us we weren't going to get moved until late Monday or early Tuesday. They were going to postpone that and delay it as long as possible. Now, this is would have been a municipal charge, so you should have seen the municipal magistrate, but that wasn't happening either. They were going to make us go to the county jail and go through all of that. They were going to put it off and stall as long as they possibly could. Okay? And again, this is something that it was a ticketable offense. Okay? All that sergeant had to do was say, okay, guys, I'm going to write you a ticket. You can either give me your information, sign the ticket, and go to court, or you can go to jail tonight. And then he put the ball on us then. He put the onus on us to make that decision. Instead, he wanted to be a tyrant, try and get us killed by putting us in COVID-infested holding cells, and knowing that he was risking our lives in doing it. That's the city of LaPorte. That is the city of LaPorte's police department. Going to risk the lives of citizens in the community when you hurt their feelings. Charles Van Leuven. There will be a video. I'm gonna get the videos together. There's video that you guys haven't seen yet that's not included in the live stream. I was video static recording, and then I went live when we were getting arrested. So I'll put that video out in the morning in its entirety, okay, with the names and whatnot that you need should you wish to call these people and utilize your First Amendment right to seek redress from the government. I pled not guilty. I'm not going to plead guilty to something like that. It's stupid. It is absolutely stupid, and it's ridiculous that a police department would misuse and abuse that law to harass citizens. Let's see. Thank you, Lenley. Alabama. I'm coming to Alabama later this year. I'm actually going to be making a couple of trips around. Justin sent me $10. Is that Justin? Justin, don't send me $10. I owe you $200, dude. Come on. WTT says my bond is going to get revoked. No, it's not. Class C misdemeanor. Class C misdemeanor. Traffic tickets do not count. Traffic tickets do not count. They're just wishful thinking. I know Teresa, I could hear the phone calls and stuff. Teresa kept calling. Can I get their booking pictures? Can I get the booking pictures? Can I get the booking pictures? She just needs that updated photo of me to put on her wall so she can sit around and masturbate to it or whatever. Nasty. Yeah. Big Brother says he'd like to see some videos on what to say to the police departments when you call. When I call, I typically try to get the highest ranking person I can, whether that's the chief of police, the mayor. I usually call both. And I'll tell them, so I saw this video of one of your officers doing such and such to such and such person, and I think it is egregious that your officers behave like that or arrest people for, these non-crimes. And that's typically what I say. Just tell them how you feel. Tell them how you feel. They need to hear it. They need to know that people are not happy about what they're seeing going on in their cities. And a lot of times subscribers call realtors in the area because these are the people that are bringing new residents in and stuff. And if you fuss at them enough, they fuss at the right people about what's going on. But that it's just let them know what you saw and how you feel about it, and that you think it's wrong, and that you hope that they correct the situation. Police arrested me for not giving ID for COVID. Man. What is the infraction that you were arrested for? It's called pedestrian in the roadway. Now, the sergeant was saying, and you'll see it in the video, oh, you guys were in the middle of the street. No, we weren't. Okay, the sidewalk ran out. We walked on the curb of the roadway into traffic, which is what's required in Texas, to where the sidewalk began again, and then we got on the sidewalk. There's another law in Texas that he didn't reference. Hold on. In Texas, if you're within 200 feet, if you're within 100 feet of an intersection, thank you, demonic. If you're within 100 feet of an intersection, a controlled intersection, and this was a controlled intersection, it had stop sign, you have to go to the corner to cross the street. He's saying we should have crossed the street, used the sidewalk on the other side of the street, walked the 40 or 50 feet that the sidewalk was missing, and then crossed back over. All of this while he's driving up and down the road. There's vehicular traffic. It's stupid. It's stupid. The whole thing is just absolutely asinine. And I know that there are officers in LaPorte that subscribe to this channel and watch. And once again, where were you? How is it that you're standing by, being silent? You claim to be, I'm a good cop. I'm the good cop. What are you doing about this? I'd sure like to know, because if you condone this, if you say, well, I wasn't there, I didn't do it, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You claim to be a good cop, step up and fix it. Step up and make it right. And if you can't do that, you're not a good cop. You're not a good guy. You're just as bad as the cop that's doing wrong. And if you work for a department like that, you are just as bad as those other crooked cops, because you're perpetuating the system. If the good guys would start quitting these departments, they'd straighten out. All right, let me get back here. I've been to East Texas. See, if you have a problem with Black Lives Matter because it doesn't say all. Hold on, I lost Justin there. Justin posted something, I couldn't read it. Yeah, Justin, I'll give you a call when I get done on here. I'm going to share some of this video with you. I think you'll find it interesting. Chuck M, those statistics come from insurance companies and the police. You can't believe them. I don't trust them. And again, okay, if you're going to quote to me statistics about how many lives are saved by seatbelts, quote to me how many lives are lost by not having helmets on motorcycles. And I'm a motorcycle rider, okay? So I'm not picking on the motorcycle riders for not wearing a helmet. If you're that stupid, more power to you. But the seatbelt law is being misused by police to stop and harass people. And so what do we need to do? We need to go back to allowing people to live their lives and decide for themselves if they want to put a seatbelt on or not. I wore seatbelts before there was ever a law. I've always worn seatbelts. That was my choice. And it should be your choice so that you don't have to worry about being murdered by the police because you didn't have a seatbelt on. The drunk happy woman, yeah, is probably a mistress of one of the cops. Yeah, it's probably so. We got her plate number. I'm going to run it and do background on her and see exactly, who and what she is. AdSense fraud. Bond was $200 per person. Justin Pulliam paid it for us and got us all out. He paid it in cash, so once the thing is resolved, he'll get the money back, or I'll get the money back because I'm going to pay him back. I'm not about tying up other people's money. Calendar joke was funny. Oh, okay, I got the calendar joke. I got it. He stole a calendar and he got 12 months. All right, I get it. Come on, guys, I'm tired. That was funny, though. I may have to use that. Let me see. Did your best friend... I actually lost some friends in high school in a car accident that weren't wearing seatbelts. So what happened was, it was an older model car that wasn't equipped with seatbelts. And it was like a 55 Buick or something with the metal dashboards and stuff. And they went wide on a turn, hit a guardrail, and two of them had their heads bounced off of the driver off the steering wheel and the passenger off of the dashboard, and it killed them. So I know that seatbelts do save lives in certain circumstances, but it should be your choice, just like it's your choice whether you wear a motorcycle helmet or not. The government shouldn't be dictating that. And it was actually came from the police and insurance companies is where that law comes from. They're not interested in your safety. The police want the law so that they have a reason to pull people over. The insurance companies want the law just so that they can have it. I mean, that's just it. Let's see what we got here. Will any of this change before we die? You know what? Honestly, I think the only thing that's going to ever make this start changing is revolution. I really just kind of come to that conclusion. Um, you know, keep in mind that officers, the police, are armed agents of the government, and you have a Second Amendment right to by whatever means necessary resist them if they are doing wrong. You absolutely have that right. Now you're going to have to defend yourself in court, so be prepared for that. But you absolutely have the right. And when you have a crooked department, you need to organize a group of people to fight that by whatever means are necessary. That's what it's come to. They kill us by the thousands every year, and it's not changing. It's not getting better. I thought it would. I honestly thought we could change things, and what I've come to realize now is that I was wrong. The only thing that's going to change things is if you start holding them accountable. You can't get accountability at a crooked police department. You can't get accountability in court. You can't get accountability from the politicians. So what are you left? What is left? How do you get accountability? I only know one way. Okay. My thoughts on a convention of the states. No, we don't need that. The Constitution's fine just like it is. Let's see. Old Scout, I concur with what you're saying there. All right, let me see. Tom says his old wife he wants to know how. Dude, I'm hitting 60 this year, and it is killing me. Patrick is like, "Come on, let's go out tonight." And so I'm like, "Dude, I can't run the streets all night like you. I don't have that kind of energy anymore." When I was 18 or 21, I could run the streets every night for 4 or 5 days and then just sleep all day one day. Now it's like, man, I just can't do it. But I think that's it. I hope that gave you all the information that you needed. Tomorrow morning, I will be putting up a video. I will include all the footage that I got before I went live, so you'll be able to see that, and I'll add enough of the live stream in so that you'll have a understanding of what occurred. I may also, I've got the body cam footage of the woman with the gun. You can't see her, but you can hear her. You can hear her run the slide. You can hear her hollering, I'm going to shoot you, and all the stupid stuff she was saying. And again, LaPorte took no action against that woman. Now, we were half a block away when she's screaming this at us and runs the slide on the pistol. I don't think that she would get a gun charge out of that, but she very definitely should have got a terroristic threat charge. But, I'm sure she's like doing one of those LaPorte cops, and so that's why she'd do something like that, because she knows she'll get away with it. But that's it, guys. I'm going to shut this down. Watch for that video in the morning. And again, I will include contact information for those of you that wish to utilize your First Amendment right to seek redress from the government. And I am going to be going tomorrow to retrieve my side piece along with Leo. And we will very probably, I don't know, maybe do a little protesting around town tomorrow. Go let some other people know about the heroes, how they tried to murder me with COVID. Use germ warfare to try and eliminate me. But that's it, guys. Y'all be safe. Thanks for watching. And watch for that video in the morning. And again, for everybody that called while I was sitting in that cell last night, that gives us a morale boost when we're sitting in there, knowing that you guys are making sure that we're safe. And I can't stress enough how important that is when somebody gets arrested. So keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. I thoroughly appreciate it, and as does everybody I know that's ever been arrested in that type of situation. I will see you again in the morning. Y'all have a good evening. All right, my son's messing with me. He should be stopping the live stream, and he's not stopping it. That's not funny.